In an attempt to secure his hold on the throne, Nero killed his stepbrother Britannicus and banished his mother from his palace. In 59 AD, fed up with her interference, Nero had his mother killed. He then married Sabina in 62 AD, and the couple had a daughter who died in infancy. Sabina then died in 65 AD, reportedly due to Nero violently beating and kicking his wife in her stomach during her second pregnancy.
自らの母を処刑する無慈悲な暴君として人々は彼女を認識した。私欲で国を乱す母親との決別。その苦悩を理解する者は誰もいなかった。彼女は優秀で努力家で気分屋で、きっと周りには自由奔放な独裁者に見えたのだ。名高い貴人たちより名もない市民たちを愛した。けれどそのあり方は理解されない。優れた知見によって大化を一夜で沈めてみせようと。
だが世は市民たちに尽くし、市民たちも世の政策に喜んでくれた。
Following the Great Fire of Rome, which caused widespread devastation, before being brought under control after 6 days in July 64 AD, Nero blamed members of the Christian religion for the fire. He ordered swift persecutions. Some were condemned to be dressed in animal skins and torn apart by dogs. Others were crucified, and some were even lined up and burnt alive to provide light within the emperor's gardens.
そんなのがそうじゃよ。少し矢の近くに来てたな。ここのあたり、そなたの指先で。そなたの手は温かいな。
In 67 AD, Nero fell in love with a young man named Sporus. He then ordered him to be castrated and married him. Noted by the historian Cassius Dio, this was because Sporus bore an uncanny resemblance to Nero's dead former wife, Sabina.
それからお前とは何だ。世には無論名がある。特殊な召喚ではあったがゆえ、神明こそ知るまいが。神明とは文字通りに世の真の名だ。いずれそなたも知るだろうが。いや、世と同じ思考の天才は他にいまいかな。
In Nero's time, there was a famous assassin named Locusta who specialized in poisoning people. Sometime after Nero came to power, Locusta was made to pay for her crimes in a horrible way. According to a popular story, Nero had her publicly raped by a specially trained giraffe before she was finally torn apart by wild animals.
彼女は優秀で努力家で気分屋で、きっと周りには自由奔放な独裁者に見えたのだ。
Elizabeth was, in all practical terms, untouchable. She could torture and kill to her heart's delight. Elizabeth revelled in inflicting psychological torture on her victims. After sticking 2 needles into the fingers of a girl, she would comment, "If it hurts the whore, she can pull it out." The girl would naturally take this as permission to pull the needle out, but when she did, Elizabeth would pull out a knife and cut the finger off. She was also known to have, on at least one occasion, bitten a chunk of flesh from the face of one of her victims. Servants would be lucky to get away with a lost finger or two. More often than not, the bloodlust within the depraved heart of the Countess was unable to be quelled. The girls would be dragged off to a torture chamber where Elizabeth employed her torture squad to carry out much of her dirty work. All manner of implements were made use of to cause the most gruesome afflictions imaginable. Pincers were used to rip flesh, insides were torn out, and there have even been reports that cannibalism was enforced on some of the girls.